What's going on, everybody? Got a long one for you today. Really cool sequence coming up. In order to retrieve Dima's memories, we actually have to go into his memories. Some virtual interface or something or another. Anyway, he gave us a program to do this so we can interact with the computer. Now we get some, I don't know, Mass Effect style stuff, where you go help Legion retrieve his memories or something. Same type of thing.
If you're listening to this, then you made it inside my memory banks. Take a moment. I know it's a lot at once.
Except this time we get to solve puzzles, and a lot of puzzles.
The architecture you're seeing is data. My data. When I'm plugged into the chair, this is what I see. You're using an earlier version of that technology, a brainwave scanner instead of a direct neural wire. Look around. Do you see that yellow column in the distance? That's long-term memory storage. That's your goal. But you can't just retrieve that data yourself. One of the programs loaded in that holotape is called the indexer. They're represented by the friendly green sprites milling around. Do you see them? The indexers have one purpose: to get the data in the yellow column and bring it back to the memory access point. You need to help them get there and back safely. Once they've recovered all the data in the memory, the program will translate it into something you can understand. If you ever need to leave the simulation, then don't worry. Nothing gets reset. You can keep going from wherever you left off. Good. You're across the gap. But now you have to deal with the security systems. That red firewall is blocking you and your indexers from reaching the data. Do you see that green beam of light? That's a decoder beam. It can destroy the firewall. You just need to direct the beam to its vulnerable spot.
Okay. Very cool. I like puzzles. I don't claim to be good at them, I just like them. I don't know that I have the long-term patience to sit there and grind out a puzzler type game, like maybe, what's that, Portal? I can see the attraction, I guess, but maybe not my thing. But I really like it when they include puzzles in games like this.
Good. You're across the gap. But now you have to deal with the security systems. That red firewall is blocking you and your indexers from reaching the data. Do you see that green beam of light? That's a decoder beam. It can destroy the firewall. You just need to direct the beam to its vulnerable spot.
Okay, and I'm guessing you can just, yeah, you can just turn this like you can anything else. Doesn't look like I actually have materials to make any of this stuff. Unless there's collectible stuff somewhere around. So I guess I just use what's on hand.
Good. Now you just need to create a path to the data with code blocks, and your indexers can get to work.
Alright, just use what's available in the environment. Okay. I can work with this.
The system has been alerted to your presence. Now things will get hairier. You'll need to deploy defense constructs against the system's active countermeasures. The system's sentries will do everything they can to stop your indexers from returning to the access point with the data.
Awesome, so they're incorporating some of the construction ideas from the main game into this puzzle solving. That's cool. And they're running around shooting all my little, well, they look like data roaches. Shooting all my little data roaches. There we go. The thing I'm not sure about is, are these unlimited? Can I carry this stuff
data
over?
block recovered. Good. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Should I store some of this stuff and take it into the next puzzle with me?
Sentry beginning erasure protocol against unauthorized indexer.
I don't know if that's possible. I guess we'll find out. Alright, so you just basically set up defenses along the little pathway back so those little drones can't
Data block retrieved.
destroy them.
Progress.
Those little bugs have a long way to go to bring that stuff back too. Guess I should probably move that out of his way, huh?
Intrusive program detected. Intrusion detected. Countermeasures initiated. Beginning attrition of intrusive program.
My little turrets sure take their time. They don't aim very well either, do they?
Sentry has detected active intrusive program.
Verifying memory file. 100%. We're done here. We now have an access point into the next memory. Just step into the data stream where this memory was stored.
Memory file identification 0V-9AX0. Converted to audio transcription. Beginning playback.
Things are not going well with Far Harbor. Several of my people have been assaulted, spat at, interrogated for no reason. This is getting out of control. But there's still a chance they can learn to trust us. We just need one of their own who's on our side. I can't let anyone know what I'm about to do. I'll need to set up the equipment far away from Acadia. It'll double as a place to bury the evidence.
Additional location data appended. A makeshift medical facility underneath the VIM. Pop factory. Coordinates downloaded.
Huh. Need to find someone sympathetic to the synths in Far Harbor and take them away far from Far Harbor so that... Huh, okay. He seemed a little too flowery. You know, it's hard to trust that. You don't have to come across that sugary sweet unless you're trying to cover up something with all that sugar. You know what I mean? So, I mean, go figure, you know. I mean, it's Fallout. Of course there's going to be something sinister even with the good guys type of thing. I get it. Nobody's 100% clean, but I guess it's just the severity of the bad stuff. You know, does it outweigh the good stuff? And that's really kind of what it boils down to, you know? Is it lots of little crimes? One big crime? Overall just rottenness in general, whether you're committing crimes or not? I mean, it could be any number of factors, so we'll see. Alright, so it's a matter of removing certain blocks that are blocking the beam and so on and so forth. I'm kind of getting this. This is cool. This reminds me a bit of where you go in with Legion and uncover memories. Or at least the memories that Legion chooses to show you to try to, you know, what would you say, further Geth propaganda? I guess that would be fair to say. It looks like these things, these little shimmering blocks, are going to be the key. to solving these. They're the main thing. In order to cause the beam to be able to turn corners and stuff like that. As far as going up or down, though, I don't know. Okay, so let's say some really, really horrific stuff is uncovered in Dima's memories. Dima chose to keep those memories here out of his head. Thoughts and experiences, parts of your character that are hidden away, blocked off from you, does that really make you who you are? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if these are no longer part of himself, then is that really still him type of thing? I'm only guessing we're going to uncover something really sinister or something. I don't know if at some point, as the puzzles get more difficult, which I'm assuming they will, if we'll start running out of blocks. I would guess that that would be part of the challenge, making do with what you have. If they really want to make a hard puzzle, they'd have a certain amount of space that has to be filled in, and the exact minimum number of blocks required to do it, and of course having to go find those and all that. You could do a lot with these puzzles. Yeah, it might help if I actually start storing these things rather than picking them up one by one. I'm guessing this would be the pathway back, so probably best place to put the turrets.
Beginning attrition of intrusive program.
That wasn't so bad.
Data breach detected. Initiating anti-intrusion countermeasures.
The main thing I'm curious to see is if the synths, or Dima in particular.
Beginning attrition of intrusive program.
I would guess that the synths coming to find refuge would not be part of what Dima's about one way or another, outside of just showing up and finding some
First data block recovered.
place to stay
Just
safe
keep doing
type
what
of
you're
thing.
doing.
As opposed to the children of Adam willingly joining
Sentry beginning
that
erasure
particular
protocol
cult or
against
cause.
unauthorized indexer.
Whether to avoid dying at the hands of the children of Adam or whatever. I mean, when you join with that instead of fight, you kind of call that upon yourself. The synths fleeing for some kind of safety somewhere out of desperation, I don't know. Of course, I mean, how would synths think about these things? What would they be? I don't know.
Sentry has detected active intrusive program.
Mudding up the issue. Anyway, first and foremost, I want to see if Dima's actually acting on behalf of Far Harbor, the people, because see, it really boils down to this being Far Harbor's home. The people of Far Harbor, this being their home. They have been chased out of their home
detected.
by the fog, specifically by the children of Adam. All right, sponsoring the fog, promoting the fog, approving of the fog. I've been told, well, you know, the children of Adam blindly follow. It's really just their leader. No, I walk around listening to their prayers that I will burn all the infidels who don't agree with us, who are not part of Adam and this and that, and making their supplications and prayers and being all fanatical and this and that. No. Okay, if you are allowing yourself to be programmed by an evil entity, if you are programmable, then that is still your fault. That's on you. He made me do it. No excuse.
Sentry initiating erasure of intrusive indexer.
He didn't tell me that murder was wrong, so when I did it, I didn't know it was wrong. Oh, you don't have a conscience. All right, well, if you don't have a conscience, then you're not human anyway. So, no harm done in eradicating you from this world to make the world a safe place for people who actually do deserve to live in it. Peaceful people who, just trying to live and get by. There's always some asshole interfering with that, whether it's for a religious excuse or something. There's always an oppressor. There's always an asshole making you pay for your freedom with blood, and it's
Memory
So
retrieval
unnecessary.
at 100%. Verifying. Looks good. You can now use the data stream as an access point to the next memory.
Memory file identification 0J-2NN8. Converted to audio transcription. Beginning playback.
I'm offloading this memory. I cannot bear lying to Confessor Martin and his children of Adam any longer. Better to just forget. I found it. The location of the launch key to fire the nuclear missile inside the submarine. Confessor Martin believes it can bring his people into division. Destruction at the hands of an atomic blast. He struggles with how literal his interpretation of that precept should be. I can't risk him deciding to find the key and use it. His people were the first to accept me for what I am. The thought of them being gone fills me with nothing but pain.
Additional data appended. Location: the Harbor Grand Hotel safe room. Key code 485130.
Okay, so these self-destructive, murderous, psychotic fanatics, jihadists, are just as ready to blow themselves up to find their division, thinking that the worst thing that could happen is the best thing that could happen. And okay, if they're that backwards and confused, who else has to pay the price for their insanity? Everyone else. First and foremost, right? But I see that it's possible here that Dima is in some sense sympathetic to the children of Adam's fanatical need to commit atrocity. And not just directly commit it, to witness it and flourish in it and approve of it and thrive in it. Anything bad and evil and horrible and murderous and deadly that can happen, oh, the children of Adam are just, yes, and it only happened because it's the will of Adam, therefore you deserved it, so I'm going to delight in it. Wow, that's just sick in every way. But I'm just blindly following, I'm not responsible. Yes, you are. You're part of that, you're responsible. Pay the price for that anyway. Bottom line is when you have a when you have a quantity in the world that makes the world unsafe because of its existence, you take it out of existence, and then the world is a safer place. Oh, okay, well, that's pretty simple. That's pretty simple. So at any time, they might nuke themselves and everyone else along with them, all for the will of Adam, because everyone should partake of division, whether they like it or not. Okay, I'll tell you what. How about you just don't do that, and we'll get along just fine, and the world will be okay without you, and we can all live in peace because we don't have to worry about you coming along one day and pushing the button at any given moment because your God thing wills it or whatever. I mean, seriously, we're just common sense here, so... Anyway, so apparently the first children accepted him, okay, but did they? I don't know if they did or not. All right, but regardless, he seems to think that they did. All right, if that's the case, fine. But being sympathetic to what they're doing, remember, they're talking about blowing themselves up and everybody else with them with a nuke. As if we hadn't had enough of that in this world already. Look around, you know, but the product of all that nuclear devastation is radiation and sickness and mutation and disease and just more and more filth and death and more death and insanity. And the fog itself promotes that very same insanity and stuff like that. Just another product of it. And they seem to think that this is some object of to be worshipped, or some product of the thing that they're worshiping, or some combination thereof, or whatever, you know. Trying to wrap my mind around it kind of validates it as being something to even think about, and it's not worth that. It's not worth the thought. It's, you know, just look at the results. Death and more death and more death, but it's the will of Adam, so it's okay. Yeah, well, you know, people who just kind of want to live and get by and just do their thing, raise families, you know, try to make something of the world that's left. Don't need, first of all, you coming to destroy the rest of it, right? And second of all, deciding whether they should live or die. One right to human life is to choose to live, and taking that away, you know, through fanaticism is, well, it's a crime we're all too familiar with today, right? So once again, I just, you know, drive the point home that we're seeing that here. We're seeing that jihadist fanaticism here. We're seeing that religious zeal, and I don't think it's religious zeal. I think it's what would be the word? The condition of being a sociopath or psychopath or some combination thereof, right? And using religion as an excuse. I don't know that religion is a cause. I think religion is a symptom. You know, if the words don't quite fit into what your perverted ass mind wants to do, then you make them fit, type of thing going on. That's kind of what I see here. Let me go ahead and store some of these blocks. Give me something to work with. Okay, so I got to turn this corner. I guess. Got to trigger that thing way up there. Alright, going side to side is one thing. Going up and down is another. Sorry if I'm a bit slow. I never claim to be good at puzzles. I just like them. I just say the satisfaction of solving a puzzle. I kind of dig that. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes I'm a little slow on the draw. Once I get what the puzzle's asking for, then it's not so bad, but right now I'll just collect some blocks, and look around for a clue as to the hell I'm supposed to do next. I see the target is straight across from up there, so I gotta get the beam to be pointing up or something. How about this? I'll just use this same beam just in a different spot. How's that? I'll just save that. We got rid of that wall. And now we just got to give these little guys some way to get across. Well, I have plenty of blocks, so... To me, it seems completely rational to figure out or to investigate here who the good guys are and who the bad guys are. I had all my suspicions about the children of Adam, but went in with, though you may not think so, an open mind to hear and see, but everything I saw and heard confirmed what the suspicion was. It was kind of easy considering, you know, I was already assuming that a point was being made, essentially, by the writers. You know, they were putting a real actual element, you know, real world element of our society, something we're having to deal with, and put it into the game, gave it a different face, gave it a different texture and a different flavor, but it's still one of the same thing. I guess this is what I'm looking to do here, right? This should be the last firewall? Okay, how come I can't get this thing to... I'm going to turn in the wrong direction. Okay, now? Are we good to go? Very good. Very good. Okay, that should be it, I think. This one's solved. Now how do I get down without... I wonder what happens if you actually fall all the way through. Oh, if I had to go back to my last save? Oh, I'd be sick. Maybe that's why Dima said you can leave anytime you want and come back without losing progress. Shit, to go save? I hope that's not a thing. This is a simulation, so it shouldn't outright kill me, right?
Warning. Data breach detected. Intrusion countermeasures initiated.
Alright, so I guess they'll be coming through here.
Intrusive indexer detected.
Well, if they're attacking right here, we'll just shore up the defenses right there then. How's that?
Sentry initiating erasure of intrusive indexer.
So anyway, through investigating and hearing from the
Memory
High
retrieval now at
Confessor, as he
60%.
calls himself, so he can feel all important, pontificate with some title of authority. Such a joke.
Intrusive indexer
Hearing it
detected.
from his mouth. Yes, the fog is something of theirs. He said, yeah, it was here when we got here, but they've managed to somehow increase it, promote it, make it worse, add to it, whatever.
Complete
And you know what?
memory
Whether they had or not, they're fully supportive of what it does.
The data stream is now available to access the next memory.
Also finding that the
Memory file
oh, hold on.
identification 0H-3X0P. Converted to audio transcription. Beginning playback.
I've made a contingency plan in case Far Harbor discovers the truth or gives in to their xenophobia despite all my efforts. I've isolated the wind turbine powering Far Harbor's fog condensers. A kill switch command will leave them defenseless from the fog and its creatures. But now that it's done, am I really capable of this? This massacre that I've engineered? I'm going to remove the command code from my memories. I'll bury a hard copy if I need to use it. But I can't keep it close to me. It makes me sick.
Additional location data appended. Coordinates to the kill switch command code and the wind farm maintenance building.
Okay, so whatever he did with, assuming he found somebody that was sympathetic to the synths in Far Harbor, apparently the crime he committed against Far Harbor was enough that he could expect hostilities in response, so he committed something against them. So they're not the guilty party here, he is, and has also engineered something to deal with that retaliation should it happen. A contingency plan, which I guess is wise, but what did he do in the first place? And it sounds like the contingency plan involves utilizing the fog. Now there's something key here that I need to personally be aware of. Something I'll point out to you guys is that if he says that, then he's fully aware that the fog is a threat, which would be obvious, right? But seeing as it's also aligned with the children of Adam here, once again, I think misplaced sympathies to the children of Adam just because they said you were a nice guy and we can get along type of thing does not make them your friends, does not even make them sane. Just because somebody smiles at you for a second instead of frowning at you does not make them a good guy in and of itself. Obviously lunatics, obviously. So the plot sickens, as they say. Yeah, as long as that'll set right there, then we're good to go. I mean, bottom line is the objective is to knock down every firewall. That's really the bottom line, and then you eventually can create a path for the little data roaches to go do their thing. Now we gotta somehow turn the corner twice. Tell you what, bet you this will work right here. I'll just do the same thing. I'll build it side to side instead of straight up. Doesn't really matter as long as it's in place. I can shoot the beam wherever it needs to go, and it works for me. What the hell am I doing? There we go. Alright, so anyway, once you can draw a clear line between good guys and bad guys here, the innocents and the perpetrators that are causing the innocents to suffer. It's pretty kind of what it boils down to, at least with me. That keeps it simple. And no, I'm not one of those that goes too far into looking into how the people doing the victimizing are victims themselves and making excuses for people committing atrocities. Too many atrocities committed to where making excuses for them is obviously not the answer. Understanding them and making excuses doesn't stop that from happening. And so while we sit here and pontificate and justify and reason about these things, innocent people keep suffering. And so that, no. So if something doesn't work, if it's not solving the issue, then don't do that anymore. I mean, eventually learn that, okay, this doesn't work. You know, if your forehead is bleeding and you're hitting yourself in the head with a hammer because hammers are tools used to fix things, and somehow the bleeding won't stop, you might want to try something else because that's not working. Just saying. I mean, you can do it for a while, but eventually when you get tired of hitting yourself in the head with a hammer to make the bleeding stop, then you'll eventually maybe find, something else. Okay, so making excuses for people victimizing others does not stop the victimizing, does not, making excuses for those that commit atrocities. Providing defense for monsters does not stop the monsters, does not help the victims. So another complete other principle train of thought needs to take place here to find some solution, some remedy, some answer to that problem, because understanding it is not. And I guess I just found out what the hell happens if you drop off the map. Alright. That's it? You just oh, okay. I can deal with that. I might use that as a tool to fast travel. If these puzzles are going to get any bigger, if I'm stuck at one end, I might just jump off on purpose. Okay, I really have no idea where to go from here. What the hell am I supposed to be doing? Is there... I'm wondering if there are maybe some more relay blocks up on top or something? You know, the ones that you can turn and change the beam direction and all that. Oh, damn it. Oh, awesome. Well... glad you can jump a fair distance in this. That's nice. Okay, let's see what we got up here. We only have one beam, so we need to direct that to... what? Last firewall is way over there somewhere. Once again, sorry if I'm slow on the draw. Figuring this out I said, I think there's a certain satisfaction to that. Like, yeah, I did that. No fall damage, that's cool. Little bugs like, dude, really? Can you hurry up? Like, I've just been standing here for days, being all buggy. How the hell those other bugs? Oh, well. Alright, let's see. Well, this is obviously the goal way down here. There's nothing down here. Great, now I gotta get back up. Dude, what are you doing? I have no idea. I'm just sitting here, wondering. Okay, the beam's got to get there somehow, interestingly enough. It's not going to get there from around this side, I don't think. Although there is a hole for it to travel through. Okay. Maybe I get it. Hold on. So I could just grab that thing. Just take that and bring it up here and force the beam to go some other direction or something. And once you've got the firewalls down, those beams doesn't really serve any purpose anymore. It's also interesting how first Dima said if Far Harbor chooses to retaliate because of what I've done, like he was almost ready to take responsibility for his crime, whatever crime this may be. I guess we're uncovering that right now. But then he turned around and wanted to blame it on xenophobia, which is just another term for what we would call racism, which we use to basically throw on anybody who doesn't agree with what we say these days. It's just a label. Man, I like the color blue. I prefer green. Oh, you're just racist. Because you don't like blue. Or something. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But, so xenophobic would be the same thing, right? Be racist. Okay, so he wanted to immediately throw the race card to somehow make it Far Harbor's fault if they have a problem with the fact that Dima did whatever he did. He knows that whatever crime he's committed is worthy of retaliation. He wouldn't have gone to the measures that he did, coming up with some kind of means to where he could eradicate the entire community, right? Once again, victimizing these people. What the hell do these people do but live in their house? Their crime is to have existed here on Far Harbor until these children of Adam rise up, throw their fanatical stuff, and say, hey, let's all kill ourselves with a nuke. And the other people who have some sanity in Far Harbor said, no, let's not do that. So the children of Adam separate themselves. The rest of the children of Adam are made up of trappers. Interesting, which are the same thing as raiders, so they're scum and filth to start with. Made up of scum and filth. Well, scum and filth can redeem themselves. That's what religion is about. Sure, religions that are talking about redemption, but religions talking about redemption through killing yourself and everyone else around you through a jihadist movement is not redemption. That's insanity and fanaticism and just being a psychopath. That's just wanting to kill shit, including yourself, just for the sake of reveling in death. Totally different thing. I'm literally just trying to straight up just call it for what it is without any sensitivities, because sensitivities won't stop bombs or bullets. Sensitivities aren't going to stop these monsters from doing what they do. Okay, so that... You know what? I'm from here on out, if I ever do these puzzles again, I'm going to set the last block that needs to be there in place first and just go with it. Alright, I think I got an idea. See if we can't put it on top of that. I don't see why not. This might be it right here. Maybe. Took me a minute. This was a good one. This was clever. Put a block in place, and then the beam has to travel through right through where that block was. Okay, that's it, right? Got everything down? Now I just got to get back up there to give my bugs some place to walk. I also got to put some turrets in place, too. I think that's it. Pretty sure. But yeah, it's real quick to share the blame with the victim. The actions of a rapist. For example, and that's a perfect example, you take a rapist these days, and the first thing the lawyers want to do is share at least some part of the blame with the victim. Well, she asked for it somehow. It can't all be his fault, can it? And you know what? The actual answer to that is, yes, actually it can. He may just be a piece of shit rapist. Simple as that. But it has to be more complicated. Says who? Where's that law written that he has to be anything other than exactly what he is? Just a rapist piece of shit? Can't get any on his own, so he's got to victimize, brutalize, and destroy the life of a woman for his own couple minutes of perverted ass grunting. I mean, seriously? Okay, but it's got to be partly her fault, right? I mean, it's the exact same thinking. To try to somehow justify your crimes by saying, well, it's some part of their fault. It's their xenophobia did it. Their racism made me do it. I'm not responsible for my actions because they're a racist. We see that in action today, too. I'm just saying. Trying to point out the obvious, which is being completely... I don't know that the obvious is being covered up so much. I mean, sure, the media is doing their fair share of that, but I think it's being intentionally, almost violently ignored. Also, the obvious, because common sense would condemn a lot of us for our thinking and actions and lack of actions, and our backwards judgment and our perversion and our ignorance and our almost just blatant, blunt, blind stupidity as a society these days. Being so intentionally apathetic and naive about things that matter while we get vehement and fanatical about things that don't.
Security alert. Intrusion detected in long-term storage.
Lives are taken over nothing, while real issues that matter that are worth fighting for, no one's willing to fight. That's kind of cowardly, actually, if you think about it. Anyway, so yeah, you can blame the xenophobe card for people maybe having a problem with. Well, we'll find out what Dima's crime was.
Intrusive indexer eliminated.
We've gathered from his memories here already that he did something. He knows it. And I see him trying to take a step towards trying to justify it, or at least share the blame.
Good. Just
right?
keep doing what you're doing.
Real quick to do. Well, that never ends well for anybody. Person responsible takes responsibility. Problem solved. Person responsibility starts making the innocent guilty for what he does, and then all of a sudden there's confusion. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Like I say, haven't fully cast a judgment here. You know, and if anyone wants to ask, well, dude, who made you the judge? Let's see, the people of Far Harbor, the children of Adam, and Acadia made me the judge.
Good.
Putting me in a position to solve their problems, make decisions, cast judgments. That's what all these quests are about. That's what it's... So yeah, actually they did. All parties involved here put me in a position, gave me the authority to do so, put me in the judge's seat, so to speak. Absolutely. I didn't know about these memories till I was told about them. I wasn't going to come get them till I was asked to, for example. Being required to act on these memories whenever I found whatever there was to find. So, yeah. At least one, if not two of these parties is going to regret having asked me to get involved one way or the other, because the things that they've apparently done horrendous things to cover up, hide, or get away with until such a time as to they could, fully realize their vision, the children of Adam, to just blow the fuck up out of everything, then they're going to be they're going to regret having asked me to do this, which I don't care. Yeah, once I saw what I saw at the doors of the Nucleus, the Children of Atom Space,
That's 100%.
and then heard from the High Confessor's mouth himself
job.
what they were about, that was it. Okay. Confession. Full
You can
confession
use
made.
the data
Fine.
stream to access the next memory, as usual.
Memory file identification 0Z-7A4K. Converted to audio transcription. Beginning playback.
Get away from me! What the hell are you?
It's me. We escaped the Institute together. You're my brother.
I don't have a brother. The name's Nick Valentine, and no one in my family tree is a plastic skin freak.
You're just confused. Let me help.
Stay away from me! I don't want to hurt you!
Goodbye, brother.
End playback.
Oh, so did Dima and Nick Valentine know each other? Is that what helped Nick Valentine? Was that Dima tearing Nick Valentine's fake skin off or something to expose what Nick Valentine was? What exactly just occurred there? Not exactly sure. Ah, now I see why somebody suggested maybe bringing Nick along with me. I mean, I'm bringing dog meat. I was going to come with my dog. That's what you see on the advertisements for the DLC is old dog meat riding in the boat with you off to Far Harbor, so that's what I was going to do. Okay, this looks like it's going to be a long jump that I can't make. That's what that looks like. No, this looks like it's going to be one big roundabout something or another just to break down one firewall. Okay, not too far to go. Just a lot of stuff to do to get it, I'm sure. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'll sit here and puzzle this out. But I'm obviously going to need that over there. Those things aren't there for no reason. Oh, no, there's another firewall over there. Okay. No, there's more than one. So I'm going to have to get over there, too. Well, that's going to be interesting. I see several structures around here. Well, I'm thinking that Dima's voice actor is the same as Nick's. Just a different tone, but they sound similar. But anyway, so they left the Institute together. And then the last thing Nick remembered from talking to him was that he woke up essentially in a trash pile. I wonder if it's because he got uncovered, being an Institute placement maybe or something, and he got uncovered and the Institute had no more use for him, so they discarded him, or is that just the first thing he remembered waking up from whatever he just encountered with Dima here or something? Well, if Nick was here, he could explain that, I guess. But you know what? I'm gonna have to see everything on one playthrough. That maybe is a reason to come back to Far Harbor, but just bring Nick along with me next time. Sounds good to me. I guess while I puzzle through this, I got time to go take a bathroom break. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'll be back in a second. That's a first. Get to go take a bathroom break in the middle of puzzle solving here. Huh? How very convenient. I'm guessing from looking at these that there's several ways to solve these. That there may not just be just one way. Maybe there is, and I just luckily stumbled on that, but probably not. Probably several ways to accomplish this. They're pretty clever. And at some point we're going to need all of these little turning blocks. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. We're going to need every one of them. These firewalls wouldn't be here for no reason. I definitely got to get that one on top. I can just have that, huh? Okay, I'll take it. Lots of other blocks here to just use, just to store away and save for later. I'm guessing we'll be sending a beam straight through here at some point. So there's no point in not removing all these anyway. So there's some history with Dima and Nick. Dima has committed some kind of something that he seriously regrets. See, I'll give that to him. He regrets it. Right? I don't like his being willing to somehow give himself a mental out as far as his conscience is concerned by saying, well, you know, when it really comes down to it, it's all Far Harbor's fault because they're a bunch of racists. Shut up, dude. That's weak. That's weak. That argument holds no water anymore. Get over it. Get over yourself and get over it. But he still has, you know, some conscience as far as that goes. I mean, the willingness to hide these memories away. I think the bottom line, not sure what viable alternatives I have to I guess you could say finish the story, right? Play out the end here, which I'm guessing we're getting kind of close to it, sort of. Not exactly sure what options we'll have available, but allowing Dima to be accountable to Far Harbor for whatever action he's committed, if that's possible, and still eradicating this children of Adam abomination that's here, you know, which is just nothing but it's the present threat, it's the present danger, it's the thing to be fought against to earn one's liberty and freedom and the right to just exist. You would think that right should just be intrinsic to all men, but no, men make that hard on other men. You know, you don't just have the right to get by. You have to earn that. You have to pay for it, usually with blood. And it always seems to be the case because you're dealing with assholes who would like to infringe upon those liberties. I would like to just exist. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not possible. You can't just exist because we have Adam to contend with. And if you don't agree with that, you die. And if you do agree with it, you die anyway, but you die with Adam's blessing. Huh? I die or die? That's my options for living? Okay, I was born in the first place for what, then? Could you explain that to me? No, you can't? Oh, well, then your religion is false. Your religious doctrines and ideas are an atrocity. They're not. There's no good thing there. It's fanaticism. It's the kind of thing that insane people use as an excuse to do what they do. Pretty simple. And deal with it accordingly. At least you can deal with it here. In the real world, we're not dealing with it. We're making excuses for it and blaming anything that happens on the victims, rather than holding those responsible that are doing this type of bullshit. What we see right here. They don't use the fog, though. They prefer to use trucks and the tops of buildings to throw people off of and stuff. That's what they'd rather use today in our real world, but it all comes out the same. Innocent people getting fucked off for no reason. And I would say no reason. Zero reason. But dude, you need to be sensitive to... No, I don't. No, there's no law stating that I should be sensitive to an abomination. No. No, I actually don't. But you'll offend them. And then what? They'll kill me anyway? Because they were going to kill me anyway? Then what? Okay, so still haven't heard a reason to not want to see them all just eradicated. If they're gone, then the world's an okay place. While they're here, the world's a worse place to be in. Pretty simple to me. I don't know. Is that so hard? I mean, I guess it is. Don't want to sound arrogant or like I'm more intelligent than anyone, but I get that. I can't see not getting that. Don't understand what's so hard for that, for the entire collective world to understand about that. It's crazy. Anyway. This has been a heated topic in stream also. Actually, I guess in light of current events, it kind of needs to be. You know, and it shouldn't be forgotten. You're really, really disrespecting the people who have actually paid their lives on this very subject. I mean, Paris has just gotten shit on. Oh, they asked for it. Huh? Really? Really? Did they? Those people down there with the kids on the seafront just enjoying holiday? They really asked for that? Did they? Well, I think if I heard someone say that to me in person, wow. I don't know how I'd respond to that. The right thing would be to test my boxing skills, regardless. But, I mean, that probably offends somebody nowadays, right? Oh, you're thinking about fighting. Fighting's never right. Holy shit. Well, the world's lost. Yep. Complete loss of faith in humanity confirmed, right there. I've actually heard that. Fighting's never the right thing. Do what? You've had too many people fighting on your behalf then. You need to get out there on the front lines. Go and face what these people would do to you if you ever let them across your borders. Holy shit. Yeah, you need a taste of that. It's a slap of the real world. Knock you right off that pink unicorn farting pixie dust in the face of little kittens carrying you across the La La Land. Seriously. Wow. Wow. Sorry if I'm just sitting here essentially talking to myself, seemingly talking to someone else. These are all arguments and things that I've actually heard people say, and I sit there just slack-jawed, like almost drooling, just so stupefied that I feel like that just immediately gave me brain cancer. Immediately just killed all the cells in my head. Like wow, hearing that just altered my perception of reality. that I just witnessed the impossible. Nobody can be that stupid. Nobody can be that devoid of morals and common sense and decency. I can't get it. Maybe it's a good thing I can't get it. If I could, maybe that would be scary. Man, I've got to send this beam in like 18 different directions. No wonder they gave me all these little things. Oh, okay. Okay, hello. Sneaky sneak down there. Surprise, surprise. Okay, how do I get the beam to go up or down through this? I'm sure it's necessary. I'm sure I have to have that. Okay, if I can get the beam to come up through that, it's still got to shoot a different direction though, right? Or can I use this beam coming through the side here? Let me go down here and look. Okay, all right, so okay, so this is I gotta get a beam to shoot that somewhere else and get... Oh, this is more complicated than it looked. All right, and they're gonna make you use a lot of blocks to get back and forth. Okay, so I've put the cart before the horse here, I think. Yeah, let me start back over. Let me get back on the other side. It's probably the quickest way to do it. So obviously it just has to end there, but we've got to... I think that's where it shoots out of. Yeah. Okay, see what those yellow bricks are? That's going to send the beam to that. So I've got to get the beam to shoot into... There's going to be a block down there, and there'll be a target, and that's where it's got to go. Oh, this is crazy. Okay, it's got the top of that backwards L is where it's got to shoot into, and then it goes up. When it goes up, then I can eventually intercept it and send it off to the side somewhere. So that means I got to get way over here, which I knew I had to. And if there's a firewall there, I got to knock it down. Maybe there's a way around it. There may be a shortcut to this, but I'm guessing the puzzle crafters here thought of most of that. Usually the only way to shortcut around a puzzle is if the person who made the puzzle wasn't very good at designing their puzzle. Usually you work backwards from your solution and you make sure that there's no alternative routes so that the puzzle solver has to find the solution. Puzzles that have multiple options, different ways to those, yeah, those aren't very good puzzles to me. If you can figure out shortcuts, then you've outthought the person who made the puzzle himself. Might want to consider making puzzles yourself, actually. If you're clever like that, seriously. Yeah, I'm guessing I gotta send beam that way, so might as well get ready for that, right? But, I think, yeah, I need that block up on top, don't I? I'll take that block up on top anyway. There we go. Uh-huh. Clever, clever, clever. They really just went off onto a whole different thing with this, didn't they? I wasn't expecting anything like this. Not in a Fallout game. This is pretty cool. You know, I remember hearing one of the developers with Dragon Age Inquisition say that they were studying Skyrim extensively in developing Dragon Age Inquisition. Which makes sense, because Skyrim had a lot of success. I don't think they copied Skyrim really in any way, but the whole open world part of it and certain elements that were available to the players, exploration being key, right, was something they wanted to get into. And, well, it's obvious. You know, it used to be, you know, the first two Dragon Age games were pretty much linear pathways. If you had an area to explore, it might be a small section of town type thing with a few defined streets, but you weren't going to, I mean, usually the invisible walls that kept you from walking any farther were usually a couple feet in from the edges of the street, and you were defined, you know, you were confined to a certain space to explore there, and that was about it. Well, they obviously opened it up a lot with Inquisition. They created zones, but those zones were pretty big in and of themselves, and I was perfectly content with that. I don't need my entire game world to be all in one chunk. It doesn't have to be for me. You know, if I'm going to get open worlds to explore, you can give me several open worlds. And I like the way Inquisition did it. Instead of trying to manipulate the environment to where you go from one season to the other. Like you start off at the bottom of the road and it's summertime, and by the time you get to the top of the mountain, it's winter. It was cool the way Skyrim did that. But with Inquisition, they chose rather to separate those into various weathered zones. Like in the Empire, you had snow. And then, you know, in the plains, you had desert, and you know, so on and so forth. You had an oasis, you had woods, you had jungle, you had, you know, all that stuff. So they kind of gave us a taste of everything with different regions and stuff. That was cool too. Well, you know, it makes sense that conversely, Bethesda would take the same license with some of BioWare stuff, considering they're the other successful AAA, you know, big pants developer right now, and, you know, study some of their methods. And they did some stuff in Mass Effect 3, which I've seen twice now in Fallout 4. You know, the whole thing with Legion, where you go in with the memories and stuff. I mean, there was almost a straight knockoff of that when you go into the memory den, you know, in the main story. And then this is just kind of an alteration on that with some puzzle solving involved. But if you go look at, well, Dragon Age games especially, there's been puzzles in there, especially in Dragon Age 2. In the main game and the DLCs, they threw some puzzles off in there. Did some different stuff. This type of thing, you know, in order to get a particular objective, you need to go through, you know, this type of stuff. So maybe I still had a conspiracy theory, and I haven't completely scrapped it yet, is that maybe there's some plans involved for, you know, really, okay, misjudging my jumps, for a joint project. Now, I don't know, you know, behind the scenes. You know, they would never come out front and say it one way or another, because drama and politics have no place in what they're doing, or shouldn't anyway. But behind the scenes, perhaps they're the bitter rivals. What if one of them snubbed, you know, the head of BioWare snubbed the head of Bethesda, you know, snubbed Todd Howard at a party one day, and so they've been bitter enemies ever since, and that type of stuff. it happens. You'd think these big companies, no, these are people. They're still people. You know, they may be big companies. They may be celebrities to us, to the gamers. I kind of feel that way when getting to meet any of these people. Only been fortunate enough to meet just a couple, my experience. But, you know, if you go to conventions and stuff, they'll be there, and they delight in hanging out with the fans. And most of them, to be honest, don't even know that they're celebrities, right? But in my eyes, they're kind of like that. I kind of get fanboy when I get to meet these people because, you know, I appreciate what they do, personally. Well, these are still people, so who says they don't, you know, get their feathers ruffled and all of a sudden, you know, get a little bit of, what would you say, professional rivalry or maybe just outright hatred for one another, you know, and express that in unwillingness to work together or something. But it would be interesting if the minds of BioWare with their storytelling capacity and the minds of Bethesda with their desire to, if nothing else, at least give the players something to explore, you know, places to look at, things to see and do, you know, if nothing else, whether they do a good or bad job of it, whatever, you know, that's for each to judge for themselves. But bottom line is they do at least try to do that, I think. And so, oh wow, that is a long bridge I gotta make. That looks shorter over there on that side. I think I'm gonna go over there. But you know what? Actually, or I'll just fall off and just fall flat on my face. Actually, you know, once I'm done knocking down each firewall and grabbing that little special block, I could probably just take all the blocks back from these bridges and just use them somewhere else. I may still need that there, though. Although I may need to turn that in a different direction. I'm probably going to have to build a new base for that. Yeah, this one's taking... Well, of course, I think this is the last puzzle, so of course it's taking me a while. Maybe longer than it needs to, but I'm not going to lie, I kind of enjoyed this. And now I got to get that block out of... Okay, so I got to get back over there. Let me go ahead and build a bridge across here. And then something tells me, after I get this through here, that I'm going to have to maybe go back and collect some of those other ones, or do I have enough blocks to actually use to finish off this beam? Because it looks like I got to turn at least 1, 2, 3 more corners to get the beam to where it needs to go. Okay, let me steal a couple of these for right now. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I honestly kind of wish they would have had fewer blocks in this particular puzzle right here and really made you take advantage. Like, you have to have 5 here and 6 over there. That makes 11. There's 11 total blocks, period. That's it. You got to find them and work with them. That would be... Maybe that would have been a little bit over much, but I would have respected that. Actually, it looks like there's more than enough to work with, but for right now, I don't have... Can I get that to... Okay, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. If it wants to be like that about it, I'm just going to make my own bridge as I go. There we go. Yeah, take that. Too lazy to go over there and grab blocks from somewhere else. Let's do it like this. I win. And I'm going to steal some blocks out of here and use them to walk my way back. Okay, well that's shooting through. Is that going where it needs to go? No. Is there one up here in the middle? Yes, of course. Okay, now the beam's shooting up where it needs to. Now I got to get it to shoot out to the side at the right place. This is pretty intricate. This really is. But you know, I may be done over here. I wonder. What if this just shot it where it needed to be right now? You know, even if it could, I'll bet you can't get through that data thing there anyway. Even if it could, I don't know if it's probably 1 block too low or too high. Very clever. Very clever. But I'm guessing this beam needs to be in place regardless. So... Yeah, nothing's working here. Yeah, I've totally cut it off. Which figures, but I thought it was worth a look. What, I turned it the wrong way? Of course I did. Okay, so all these would be staying there. I could probably go steal a lot of those blocks if I need them. Alright, so I gotta figure out exactly to the block how high this needs to go. Son of a bitch. Yeah, this one is pretty complicated. Got a feeling I'm gonna need all these and some. Especially gonna need that, right? Okay, this will probably be enough. Alright, very good. So, to get this beam to turn exactly where it needs to. I'm not sure how to accomplish that. I'm guessing I can't place a block in here, right? Nope, so I'm gonna go... I guess I'm gonna have to go behind it, like right there. Might as well put it in place, right? So this makes the last firewall. My bugs are sitting there like, dude, really? You aren't done yet? Okay, let's see if it can even go this way. Of course, I could extend it out a little bit if I had to. But I'm guessing that's even. Okay, so I'll need to put a block up on top of that. Oh man, I hope this isn't one. Oh man. I don't know if this is the way you're supposed to do it. I don't care. If this works, it works, right? Oops, I think I went too far. That's right, you can't turn it unless it's sitting on top of something. Oops, my stupid video clip ended. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I gotta get this out from underneath it. Okay, I think we're there. If I can just get back across here. You know what? Screw that. There we go. Puzzle version of fast travel. Right on. think that's it. I do believe this is the last one, too, right? Kind of hope so. If the next puzzle is harder than this, oh man. There. Give the bugs plenty of room to walk. Go do your thing, man. What are you waiting for?
Sentry beginning erasure protocol against unauthorized indexer.
First data block recovered. Good. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Oh shit. Oh, they're right next to each other, aren't they? Oh, I was going to make them a bridge all the way back to somewhere. Well, give them a second to do their thing. Yeah, they don't have far to walk on this one.
Sentry has detected active intrusive program.
Complete memory retrieved.
That was fast.
You can exit the simulation at any time.
Memory file identification 0Y-8K7D. Converted to audio transcription. Beginning playback.
I've discovered a curious record inside the pre-war data files of this submarine base. The Marines here were equipped with an advanced model of combat armor. There are several suits already in the base, in various states of deterioration. But there were more shipments of the armor on its way to the base the day the bombs fell. They could be in prime condition if the sealants have held. I have no use for them, but you never know. Maybe they'll be worth digging up one day.
Additional data appended. Armor shipments tracking information. Coordinates downloaded.
Exiting simulation in 3.
I have
2,
a feeling I didn't
1.
need to unlock all these memories. I think that one right there, like, that counts as maybe a reward type thing. Solve the last puzzle for that, but we probably could have left a while ago. That's cool. I just want to solve them anyway. No harm done. That was actually fun. Get to hang out with you guys and talk stuff and move blocks around and be all Minecraft about it and everything, or whatever. Okay, I guess I better eat before I literally starve to death. Well, I must not have been that hungry. Looks like we're about to level again. First rad roach I step on and we're going to level. Looks like it. Once I get, I don't know, toughness maxed out, say, whatever, and get melee, you know, with melee damage maxed out, get toughness maxed out, and then that's pretty much it. I'm above and beyond whatever level I'm really used to getting to. Anything after this is almost pointless. It really doesn't serve much purpose as far as what I do. How I play. Yeah, one of the viewers, Justin, made a mention that, you know, his soft cap is basically around 50 or so. Yeah, that's about right, 50 to 60. Probably depending on the build. I guess anything after this, I could start doing some intense training. Maybe unlock some later perks, I don't know, in the luck tree. Probably throw a few points in the luck and then go for better criticals.
Crush their walls and drive their heresy into the sea.
Seeing as gun fu with a large number of targets will start popping off automatic criticals. Well, get critical damage up then, I guess. The heathen soul can only be made clean and see, I'm listening to these followers who are so blind and innocent and don't know what they're doing. I don't want to hear that. No excuse to me. I see what they do. The point was also brought up that the followers are not actively hostile here on the island unless you, of course, instigate that. Well, A, to play into the story, all right? Until a decision is made and a side is taken. because they're essentially thinking to welcome you into their own because you're here. It's supposed to be that special something. There's even a note you uncover. We did at the top floor of a house over there by when the Mariner wanted us to get the Mirelurk shells. And the question was there on one of the notes, you know, there's a new visitor. Is this possibly a new child of Adam type thing? So we had obviously been watched, but they're out there observing what these people are doing. And it's impossible to watch these innocent people trying to go about their lives and to plan and plot, finding ways to murder and destroy them without eventually just having to concede that these are just really, really, really bad, evil people. Not just misguided, not confused, not misled, but bad, evil people. If one of these people had their arm twisted to stay, sorry. Because as an institution, as an entity, they gotta go. They gotta go. If I'm gonna oppose the death of people that actually don't deserve to die on the island. These people all do. And once again, yes, the position or authority to make that judgment call was given to the main character in the game by all parties involved here, children of Adam included. You ask someone to judge right or wrong, be careful that that person that you're asking to judge, right, doesn't find out that you're wrong. You know, I mean, oh well, that's on them. Their fault. Okay, where to go from here? We've uncovered a lot of memories, things to go find and see and do and stuff. I guess most importantly is to go get the launch code. I'm guessing. Dima's got a stash. I guess I gotta get rid of that map marker there. Oops, wrong button. And I know about the windmill thing. Turn off the power, the necessary power to keep the defenses up. Far Harbor, I'm guessing it would cause some bunch of animals to come out of the fog and go kill everybody there, slaughter everybody. It makes sense that Dima put that as an option in place. It makes sense. It's brutal. It makes sense, but the cause for putting that in there as an option in the first place was due to Dima's actions. So, a lot to be said for that. Alright, man, this got interesting. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. If you want to catch the rest of this playthrough, click that image in the middle. It should send you straight to the playlist. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.